So for today's class, well, for all those that don't know, I'm Matthew Hamburger, and we're about to have some fun in a posture police class. We definitely need a yoga strap today. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a belt, you can use a towel, maybe. A tie works really well. And with this strap, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to be stretching our legs a little bit, and we're going to be challenging our shoulders in the most magnificent way. Knowing that this is your first class, Rachel, well, actually, for everyone here, is anyone feeling any neck or shoulder ache, pain, soreness, tightness, cramping, stress? Okay. Your shoulders, out of all classes that I've probably taught in the last 3 months, this is probably the most likely that you're going to leave the class with sore shoulders. It's deliberate with the muscles that we're going to be activating. What did you say, Bill?
I didn't say anything. I'm trying to figure this out.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. You're great. Keep figuring it out, but don't stress it too much. I know you will figure it out. I'm going to mute everybody, and we're going to have some fun. All right. I don't know why exactly I'm wearing socks, but I'm taking them off. And let's all come to stand. We're going to come to stand in front of our chair. One of the little rules of thumb is for yoga, we tend to keep our feet hip width apart and sometimes even closer. But for posture police, we like to keep our feet shoulder width apart. So we're going to start off with a little hip wiggle where we keep our feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to wiggle those hips. So we really want to just get that movement, get that blood flow, feel some of those tight muscles and tendons, and maybe notice where we're feeling it the most. This is something for today's class because we're going to be targeting our shoulders, targeting our legs. This is going to be important for today's class. So I like to say there's 3 P's of a posture police class. The first P is pain. Pain is what we want to avoid. So let's really keep our knees bent as we do these hip wiggles. So maybe put our fingers on our hips. Hold on. So put our fingers on our hips like this, and then let's almost try to challenge our fingers to go as far as possible. And feel that tightness, the soreness, the aching, the cramping. And so what I like to say also is that we tend to understand our sensations. And we lump everything into what I call an umbrella of hurt. So that ache, the soreness, the stretch, the tightness, the pain, we all say it's hurt. But in reality, the ache, the soreness, the tightness, the cramping, we want to experience in today's class. So posture police, we want to experience that change of sensation, understanding our sensations. Let's switch and let's go to knees high. We're going to lift our knees high. Nope. And this is where we're going to talk about our second P, which is perception. Notice right away which leg and which hip you have greater stability with. This class does help with balance, even though we're not necessarily making it the priority today. Within perception, notice if you're able to keep the standing knee slightly bent. Tony Ann in studio is doing amazing with that. I almost want to turn the camera to show how she's being an example of this. Now let's notice whether we lean our body left, right, forward, back. For some reason, men tend to lean back more than women. I don't really know exactly why that is, but that's just a generalization I've noticed. And now let's suck our belly button in. Theoretically, we should be more stable. Theoretically. Awesome stuff. We're going to do one more on each side. Just noticing our body. Good stuff. So if you have a stick or corrective cane, feel free to use that. That's the most optimal way. Looks like you got it, which is great. So let's hold it in our left hand. We're going to lift our left knee as high as possible, keeping the knee bent as we kick back. So this is called, I call this a knee glute. I understand our balance is wonky when we do it. And yes, you definitely want to look out so you don't kick anything behind you. Keeping the knee bent as we kick back. It's super common to feel an ache in the lower back while we do it, a cramp in the hamstring. So this is designed to activate our hip flexor, which tends to get really tight on the way up. And on the way back, we're activating our glute. It's called a knee glute. We focus on our knee coming forward, focus on our glute on the way back. We're going to do 3 more here. 3, 2, 1. Awesome stuff. No one ever said no hip wiggle, so we can do a little hip wiggle. And just do everything you can to keep your feet shoulder width apart, because we actually get that better movement by keeping our feet shoulder width apart. Awesome stuff. Now let's hold on and stabilize with our right hand, lifting our right knee as high as possible, keeping the knee bent as we kick back. Notice how it feels different from left to right. There's no right or wrong, just right and left. All righty. We'll keep doing a few more while I just turn to the side for almost no good reason. We're going to do 5 more here. And really keep that knee bent as we kick back. Last one. Beautiful. And while we come to realize how we're feeling, let's do a few more hip wiggles. Maybe noticing some of the changes taking place already. Maybe realizing, damn, my right hip is tighter than my left. Maybe realizing I have no idea what my hips really feel like. This feels weird. And beautiful stuff. And let's follow the inspiration of Bill right now, and let's do a Tai Chi twist. So the thing about the Tai Chi twist is I do it a kind of non-traditional way, but I like to pivot one foot away in one of our versions. So pivot the foot, and then the other version is when we keep our feet planted on the ground. And that gets a little bit more activity in the lower back. Beautiful stuff. From here, we're going to dive deep into our hamstrings. So we're going to get our chair close by and our yoga strap. And I would love feedback about what you like better for the hamstring stretches, because I know we're going to do the other hamstring stretch so you can keep it fresh in your mind. And then for all of those that have been to multiple classes, I really want to hear what you like best. This is like an extended 3-week-long survey that I'm doing about our hamstrings. So I want you to listen intuitively to which one you're going to stretch first. We want to put the strap on right or just near the ball of the foot, maybe a little lower than the ball of our foot. For this one, I do think it is best to be really far back into the chair, and we want to keep a slight bend in our knee. Awesome. For this stretch, it's really important. Let me mention the third P before we go into it, which is prana. We are a yoga studio, so instead of saying you have to do yoga breathing or anything like that, just breathe. If you hold your breath, I will write you a posture citation. So let's keep our elbows into the side of our body as we start to just listen to our body to create a hamstring stretch. The hamstring is in the back of the thigh. You're welcome to flex your foot a little bit, but it is optional. And I want you to get a stretch. We're going to hang out here longer than you probably want to from a comfort place. So let's keep our knee slightly bent. Maybe lift the leg up a little and then use the strap and your elbows to anchor the leg in place. Big deep breath here. And maybe go a little bit deeper into the stretch as you breathe out. Think of this more as we're lifting the leg up, then we're anchoring using our arms and the strap. That's, I believe, the best way. If you're constantly pulling with your arms and your shoulders, then this is not an enjoyable stretch. That becomes a tug of war. So I know this becomes a little uncomfortable. One more deep breath in, and on the exhale, maybe slightly straighten your knee. Awesome. Whether you're liking this or not, this is a great chance to smile and trick our body into thinking we like it. And as long as you don't feel pain, we're in good shape. Smile for 3, 2, 1. Awesome stuff. How you guys feeling? Beautiful. We're going to switch to the other side now. And before we even go deep into it, be like, notice right away which side is tighter. Oftentimes we intuitively pick the side that is easier the first time, but that's not always the case. Again, we want to keep our knee slightly bent. Maybe, and just because one side is tighter doesn't mean we don't feel it more on the other side. Where our bodies are a little bit confusing and complicated, if you haven't noticed already. So keep that knee bent, anchoring the elbows into the side of the body. Big deep breath in. And maybe breathe out as you go a little bit deeper into this stretch. Notice how it feels different. Notice what kind of a sensation you're feeling. Yeah, it's very common for our hands to get tired because our legs are definitely stronger than our hands. Big deep breath in. Maybe go a little bit deeper. Bill, I can't see what you're doing. Hold on 1 minute. What did you say, Bill?
I'm using a prop. I got my foot on the arm of another chair so my foot is raised up higher. More stretch.
Okay, that works. That's really smart. So great stuff. Yeah, get creative with props. That's always wonderful. We encourage that. So let's smile here and straighten the knee just a little bit. Amazing stuff. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. And before we move on, we're just going to hang out in the chair for a little bit because I know that definitely will tighten up our shoulders a little bit. So let's come away from the back of our chair, sit upright, and let's sniff. So you can keep your hands on your thighs or let them hang, but we're just going to raise our shoulders rapidly while inhaling rapidly. So it's like this. And then we're sniffing. And then letting our body fall, letting our arms fall. Do not think about the exhale. Yeah, if you're thinking about the exhale, if you're thinking about your arms dropping down, you're thinking too much. It's about letting go, almost physically letting go of our stretch. Let's do 6.5 more. There's no way of doing a half of that. So if you were confused by that, that was deliberate. Awesome stuff. Maybe your shoulders are feeling that release again. And while we're seated, before we do some other leg stretches, we're going to open up into our posture police version of a cat. So make sure you're away from the back of your chair. If you've never done this with me before, I urge you to watch. We're going to drop our chin to our chest, bring our elbows, bring our pinkies together, and then let's open up, lift our chest up, look up at the ceiling, and try to keep your elbows in front of your hands. That's the one where we're going to have fun with today. We're going to activate our rotator cuff muscles, which that does in a magnificent way. So now let's just do this at our own pace. Everyone's got a good pace. Everyone that I can see, you're doing awesome, Rachel. You're doing awesome, Bill. Wonderful, Audrey and Michelle. I'm sure you're doing great, Elise and Jean. And just remember, if you don't like keeping your elbows in front of your hands, you can keep your hands behind your elbows. Tony Ann is laughing in studio at that one. So, hey, we all need different ways of thinking about it. We're going to do 3 more sequences here. Tony Ann, that applies for you. 3 more. And you got to do the one that you missed while you were laughing. Awesome stuff. Beautiful. All right, let's take a moment to just accept some of the discomfort that's happening in our body. Maybe we're realizing that, damn, our shoulders are really feeling it. And we're still climbing up the mountain of what's going to happen with our shoulders today. So we're going to come to a stand real quick just to bring some blood flow to our body before we do some other leg stretches. All right, so let's do a little Tai Chi twist. I think that's a good one. Opening up our feet shoulder width apart. And so to show you, I'll show you my feet. We're looking to pivot. So as I'm rotating this way, we pivot one foot. That's a good way to get a full twist of our hips, of our lower back, of our shoulder. So Rachel, actually the other sequence of the foot. So you're perfect. So it's like as you're twisting to the left, you pivot your right foot. You almost got it, almost. So check up again. So it's like this. We're keeping the toes on the floor, but we're just pivoting. So it's just like this and then a pivot. So lifting as if it's golf or baseball kind of a thing. Exactly. We're going to come back to this a few more times today. So let's do this for 2, 1. Awesome stuff. We're going to do our other version of our hamstring stretch before we stretch our quads and before we activate our glutes even more. So we're going to grab onto the back of our chair. As I move the chair, there is no necessity to move the chair with me, but we're going to keep our feet about 2 to 3 feet away from the chair. Let's keep our left foot planted on the ground, maybe right in between the back of the chair. Lift our right foot up, cross it over so we're about pinky toe side of the foot. Our feet are crossed. One of the goals throughout this stretch is to keep our feet planted on the ground. But if your hamstrings and your legs are tight, that might be impossible. Let's bend our knees a little bit, stick our butt back a lot, lean forward and lift our chest up. Notice if you're breathing or holding your breath. We definitely want to breathe. And feel that stretch in the hamstring. If you're not feeling it yet, let's take a deep breath in. And let's stick our butt back even further and lift our chest up more. Maybe you bend the knees more. Maybe you straighten the knees. Maybe you just try to keep your feet planted on the ground. You might feel this also in the calf. Super normal to feel this as well in the lower back. Another deep breath in. And sink a little deeper for the last sink in. Smile. Enjoy this uncomfortable stretch for 3. I'm serious, smile. 2, 1. And slowly come on up. Let's do a little hip wiggle. Let's realize, damn, I didn't realize my legs were this tight. And you can keep your chair in the exact same position, but we're going to do the other side now. Keeping our right foot planted on the ground, lifting our left foot above, cross it over. Same exact thing where the outside of our feet are touching, bending our knees, sticking our butt back a lot, leaning forward, and then lifting our chest up. Yeah. Notice if you were breathing or if you were just holding your breath until I mentioned it. Let's all take a big deep breath in. And on the exhale, let's stick our butt out even more. Whatever's behind us, let's taunt it with our butt. Just stick our hips out, lift our chest up. Notice which side you feel it more. For this version of the stretch, I actually felt it more on the right side. For the other one, I felt it more on the left. So maybe that's even something to notice. As much as these are both stretches of the hamstring, we have multiple muscles of our hamstring. So they stretch different parts. Deep breath in, hips out more. And stick our butt out more, lift our chest up. Maybe try to plant the feet down on the ground fully. And hopefully it's becoming a little more easy now to smile, but let's force that smile. 30, 20, 10. Slowly coming up. I figured all you guys got that pattern there. We weren't actually going to hold it there for 30 seconds. And instead of, let's take that hip wiggle full circle and let's do a hula hoop where we keep our feet shoulder width apart. We really want to keep our knees bent as we hula hoop it. We imagine the hula hoop. Keep those knees bent the best of your ability. And slow it down. Feel that hip tightness as we come forward. Maybe you feel it in all different parts of the hip. Maybe if you've sprained your ankle or your knee in the past, you might feel this in your ankle or your knee. If you feel it anywhere other than those areas, that might be a little strange. But lower back is normal. And if you've been switching off in both directions, all the power to you. Otherwise, let's go in the other direction now. And maybe you'll realize, wow, I'm a little less coordinated this way. Our bodies are amazing. We pick the path of least resistance, the easiest one, the one most suitable for comfort. And then we leave the challenging stuff to later. That's kind of the human way. Unless you think about it. If you're mindful, that you break that pattern pretty easily. And let's just do 2 more in this direction. And I had an original plan to have us do our quad stretch, but we're actually and then do squats, but we're do a set of squats now first. So these are not like, we're not trying to lift 70 pounds over our head with these squats. We're just going to open up our feet shoulder width apart. The most important part of these squats are to stick our butt out as far as possible. So we're opening up our feet shoulder width apart. I welcome you to lift your toes up so that your weight falls back on your heels a little bit more than your toes. Now let's stick our butt out a lot, even before we bend our knees. Our knees might bend a little bit just naturally. Let's put our fingers on our sternum like this. This is how we're doing them today. Butt back, butt back, butt back, and squeeze butt all the way up. Right away, notice if you went too far down or maybe you want to go further down. It's all about the squeeze of the glutes up much more than it's how far down we go. So butt back, then squeeze our butt. Amazing. This is one other little variable while we're doing these is if you want to keep your knees bent a little bit as you do this, that'll help you get a better glute activation. Glute and booty, they're the same thing. Glutes as we squeeze up. Awesome stuff. Try to keep your knees. Squeeze our butt. We're going to do 5 more here. We're gonna squeeze our butt 27,000 times harder. It's physically impossible, but we're gonna do the best we can. Just envision 27,000 times harder. I almost pulled the muscle. I'm just kidding. Squeeze our butt. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Amazing. We could do a little hip wiggle, a little hula hoop, or Tai Chi twist. Listen to your body, what you want to do. We can do all of the above. It might be a little too much, but you can still do it. And let's notice how we're feeling. Awesome. So I suggest you grab your strap, and now we're going to come to the back of our chair. Some of you will know right away that you need the strap for this, and some of you might not need the strap. So I'll go over the strap version. So if you have a tie, we just want to loop it around. If you have a belt, we just want to loop it around. Or if we have a yoga strap, we're going to hook it around our ankle like this. So oftentimes in yoga, we grab the foot. What I've learned is we get more of an effective stretch when we wrap it or grab our ankle. So even if you don't need it here, we're still going to do this to start. And same hand that I like that, Tony Ann. That was a good suggestion. Tony Ann was putting it over her shoulder. That's kind of a good little suggestion. Sometimes I don't always like that, but we're trying to get a bit of a quad stretch. Quad is the front of the thigh. So once you realize, oh, you can grab it with your hand, you might not need the strap. So I'm not going to use the strap. You're welcome to continue to use the strap. And from here, we want to just pull up a little bit with the arm. It might cause a little bit of tension in the shoulder. That's kind of normal. Make sure that our standing knee is bent. And now lift our chest up. You really want to feel it in the front of the thigh. Notice if you're holding your breath or you're breathing. And if I got you to start breathing again, I love it. Big, deep breath in. And now I welcome you to kick your ankle and your leg back while relaxing your arm and your hand. This creates a little bit of a potential hip stretch. Deep breath in. And let's lift our chest up a little more. Maybe suck in your belly button a little. And we'll smile. 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly release. Awesome stuff. You do a little hip wiggle before we do the other side. I'll give you time to get the strap ready for the other leg. If you realize you can reach it, you might not want to use a strap. For me, I love the strap to try to get deeper into it. But for today, I'm not going to use the strap for this side. We want to grab our ankle. Oftentimes we tend to grab our foot, but let's grab our ankle if we can. One of the other things that we tend to do wrong, if you ever choose to do this at home, do not let your knee flail to the side. We want to keep our knee close to the standing leg. Awesome. And enjoy that stretch. Maybe you realize that you feel it more on this side than the other side. Remember to breathe. If we don't breathe, we can't live. And let's bend our standing knee just a little bit. Let's lift our chest up. Big, deep breath in. And maybe think a little bit deeper. Experiment with your body. Another deep breath in. And now let's kick the ankle, the leg, the foot into the hand and kind of relax the hand, lifting our chest up, sucking our belly button in. And let's smile. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Notice how you're feeling. Notice if you're like, woof, I'm feeling some achy stuff. I'm feeling some soreness. And let's really do some challenging hula hoops right now. So hula hooping out, keeping our knees bent, feet shoulder width apart, And let's actually put our feet wider than shoulder width apart. What you feeling? Come on, you got it. There you can. I believe you. And let's make sure that we keep it going in the other direction too. Try to sink into where you are tightest. The awesome part about how this class and yoga sync up together is in more of a physical focused setting, you get to learn about your movement patterns so that when you do other things like these hip wiggles and hula hoops, you can learn so much about how you can hold yourself differently in Warrior 1 and Warrior 2 yoga, or even reclined pigeon and things like that. You learn where you're tightest in your hips. And it's amazing. All right. We're going to grab our corrective cane once again, or our chair. And this is going to send our lower body stuff off. And then we're going to continue working on our shoulders. So let's hold it with our left hand right now. Lifting our right knee as high as possible. And we're going to see how these knee glutes feel different from the first round. So exact same thing as what we did in the beginning. Knee as high as possible. Keep the knee bent as you kick back. Maybe you feel less resistance from the hamstring. Maybe you feel more of an activation of your glutes. What? And notice how you feel different. We'll do 2 more here. Do you feel dizzy, Tony Ann? That's a strange one. And let's switch to the other side now, holding on with our right hand. And I think the most important thing is to learn how we feel different from the first time. To realize, do you feel more open, more mobile, less tight than the first round? And we'll do 3 more here. 3, 2, 1. Woo! I welcome you to do a woo! If someone's in the room next to you, feel free to startle them. Keep the feet shoulder width apart as we do these hip wiggles. Awesome stuff. Notice if you're feeling anything new. As long as that's not pain, that's good. I'm actually feeling a tiny little cramp right in here, and I realized I probably need to work that out. Cramping usually means that we need to work through it and activate it more. That's what cramps mean. Awesome stuff. So let's just do 3 more seconds of hip wiggles while I'm just working out my own cramp. Awesome. It's gone. Beautiful. So coming back to our shoulders, we're going to open ourselves up open up our feet shoulder width apart. We're doing a set of monkey flies. Back of the hands together, knees bent. And our goal here is to keep our hands level with the shoulders all the way back as we open up and rotate. We want to keep a slight bend of our elbows, just slight. Bend of the elbows allows our rotator cuff muscles to really have some fun with this. So, Rachel, a little bit too much here. So what we're actually trying to do, let's put the back of our hands together like this. Just a slight bend. That was too much of a bend of the elbows. And then we go back and rotate like this. Amazing. You got it. So let's do 3, 2, 1. We're going to grab our strap once again. This is where we want to be really experimental. So holding on to the strap, our goal here is we're going to go up and around, and our limitation is going to be all different. Some people are going to hold 2 feet apart. Some of us are going to have to hold 37 inches apart. We're all different. So, but we want to go all the way around and all the way forward. That's how we know where we're starting. And let's open up our feet shoulder width apart. Make sure we have a slight bend in our knees, so we're anchoring our body down. Awesome. And let's pause. Just notice if by doing that, if you felt any stretch. Or if you were just like, oh, I was just smoothly doing it, just as far as I needed to be. What we want to do is we want to move just close enough where we're going to feel some resistance as we go back. And we're going to come up and around. Notice the challenge. Maybe you got to do one arm a little bit before the other. We want this challenge here. And if you had to go with one side first, then we want to switch off and do the other side first. And let's keep on challenging to go both shoulders at the same time. So this is a work in progress. There's no real recipe on how to do this. We're exploring. This is a technique that I call CEAT, C-E-E-T, Controlled Exploratory Exercise Therapy. So we are trying to explore and just baby step, inch past our comfort zone. Maybe 1%, 3%. If you do anything more than that, that's going to be rough. All right, so let's do this last one sequence, and then we're going to do a little bit of another variation to challenge this. Awesome. Now, what our goal here is going to be is to come forward. We're going to hold it in the front. We want to maybe hold it. We might have to adjust when we go to the back, but the goal is just to hold it right back around here. And now let's extend our chest and lift our chest up. We definitely want to feel a stretch. This might be, if this is overwhelming or too much, you can release. But we want to do that 3 more times where we find that one sticking point. Everyone's sticking point is going to be a little different. Mine is here. Some of yours are here. Some is going to be back here. Mine is right here. So, Audrey, you want to go a little wider. You're bending your elbows too much. We want to have just a mini bend in our elbows while we do this. And we want to feel that stretch in the chest. Come forward. Yeah, you're going to feel it. Is everyone feeling it around here? That's where we want to feel it today. I lost count of how many more, so I'm just going to say 2 more. I think that's what we're at. So we're going to have 2 more of just hanging here. Breath in. 3, 2, lift your chest up. 1, and let's come forward. Yeah, it's very common in this area. Before we do the last one, many of us have tendinitis in our shoulders. The reason I say that is I see Audrey struggling. And knowing her shoulders really well, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what she has. And I used to have the exact same thing. So it's very normal. I shouldn't say it's normal. It's very common. So one last one here. There was a study showing that over 80% of people walk around with tendinitis and have no idea. Lift our chest up, get that stretch in the chest. 3, 2, 1. All right. So let's drop our strap for just a little bit. We're going to do a set of sniffs right here and try to realize that we're feeling uncomfortable. Maybe you're already starting to notice that all the areas where you were tight and achy are now becoming a little bit sore. Awesome stuff. 5 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And while we stand here, we can do a couple little hip wiggles. But most importantly, what we're going to do after we do those hip wiggles, make sure our feet are open, shoulder width apart, knees are bent, and we're just going to do a round of standing neck stretches. So let's put our put our fingers on our sternum, lift our chest up, and we're just going to drop ear to shoulder, one side. Maybe pull your elbows down towards the ground. Amplify this stretch. And let's switch to the other side. So as much as we always want to touch in on our neck, today's focus is not necessarily our neck. And every 3 to 5 seconds, just try to keep your neck, avoid your neck pulling forward, but keep your chest up. Let's do one more on the side. Beautiful stuff. And before we go a notch deeper into our shoulder activation, we're going to swim it out. I saw Michelle. You just stopped. You knew I was. This is dedicated to Michelle. So we want to keep our knees bent, our butt back. So we're kind of like anchoring down with our lower body, reaching our fingertips all the way towards the ceiling. That's our goal here, is to reach the fingertips all the way towards the ceiling. I like what you're doing, Rachel. You're having some fun with it. I see it. Woo! All right, and let's reverse it into the backstroke. The backstroke, we want to keep our chest upright and pointed forward. This challenges our rotator cuff muscles a little bit more. This particular class, if you didn't know that you had rotator cuff muscles, now you do. We're going to do 2 more layers of diving deeper into our rotator cuff muscles in the next 10 minutes before we finish off this class. Awesome. 1 more on each side. And I welcome at any time for you to do these swimmers. They're always awesome to do. We're going to do just 1 little baby set of monkey flies. And maybe as your shoulders are getting tired, you might realize that, oh, your hands are dipping down a little bit. We don't want that. 3, 2, 1. Amazing. All right. So, actually, I'm cool with it. We're going to grab a seat for doing the next version of our shoulder acting exercises. We're going to make sure we're sitting upright away from the back of our chair. Let's have our hands palm facing up, elbows into the side of our body, and chest up. You're not feeling. Okay. So let's put our pinkies together, keeping our elbows into the side of our body, and we're going out to the side. Our goal is to keep the elbows close. And on this one, let's hang out here. Deep breath in, lift our chest up, pull our elbows in. And relax. Let's just roll our shoulders around. I know our shoulders feel a lot of funk. Do them one at a time. We can do them both together. Roll them forward, roll them back. Amazing stuff. We're going to come to a stand and grab our strap. We can do a little Tai Chi twist before we do this. Awesome stuff. So this is going to be a challenge. I think a few of you were at the class that we brought this into it. So what our goal here is, we're going to really wrap the strap around our hands like this, and we want our hands to be about shoulder width apart. We then are going to bend our elbows and lift our hands and elbows up. Exactly. From here, Michelle, you probably want to be a little bit closer with you're good now. You're good. Looks like you're good. Now we want to bring our elbows in just a little bit, but pull our hands out. Deep breath in. Rachel, you're back. So what we're doing here, we're grabbing the strap, wrapping it around our hands just like this. Hands about shoulder width apart. Keeping our elbows in front of our shoulders as we pull our elbows in just a little and pull our hands out. It's a tough one. This challenges our rotator cuff muscles so much. Awesome. You might, yeah, you're looking good, Rachel. Actually, bend your elbows just a touch more. Perfect. And let's just hang out here. We're going to relax. I know it tires us out. We're going to do 2 more of these. Bring the elbows in a touch while we pull the hands away. Breathe. If you want to smile, you're welcome to. 3, 2, 1. Relax. You could let your shoulders fall. I know this is brutal. For when it comes to our shoulders, this is like the most brutal thing we do. So we're going to do one last version of this, one last set or rep. What I guess we call it a rep. Elbows in, hands out. Amazing, Michelle. Amazing, Bill. 3, 2, 1. Woo! And I know where we also oftentimes feel it is right around in the back of the shoulder blade. Is that where you were feeling it? It's very common also to feel it here, but that's more of a sign of a tendon. I wouldn't even say issue, just soreness. And let's open up into another set of monkey flies. And for this set, let's squeeze our shoulder blades together. Really squeeze them. We're going to do 45 more, 4 to 5 more. Awesome stuff. Let's do a little Tai Chi twist. Just getting that movement, that blood flow into our thirsty shoulders. Our shoulders are probably sore. They are thirsting for blood and oxygen. Awesome stuff. Beautiful. So now, with our shoulders, we're just going to reach our hands to the sky. Keep our knees slightly bent, and let's just let our arms fall. This is a great way to get blood all the way through our shoulders into our hands. And just try to be as limp noodly as possible. I didn't know that was a verb, but we're going to say, or an adjective, but we're limp noodly. 3 more. Awesome stuff. We'll do a little hip wiggle. Let's notice how we are feeling. Now that we're doing these hip wiggles, notice if your attention stays on your shoulders. Our shoulders, we targeted our shoulders quite a bit more intensely than our hips. But we definitely got our legs stretched. Awesome stuff. We'll do a couple knee highs. Notice our balance. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. We'll do 2 more on each side. So it's very normal for our balance to get worse after stretching out muscles. So oftentimes we're like, whether we stretch, whether we strengthen, our balance should be improved. No, not necessarily. So we're going to just finish off the class with one challenging set of monkey flies where we bend our knees even more, make sure our feet are shoulder width apart. Knees bent, butt all the way back. Chest up. You almost want to feel your spine activated for this one. Back of the hands together. As we go back, you're going to feel this a little bit more spine than we did before. And look down at your feet. See if you feel like your shoulder width apart. Maybe you want to go a little wider. Beautiful. 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Notice how we're feeling. Yeah, I love it. Hip wiggles, Tai Chi twist, hula hoop, whatever your body wants to close out this class with. I call those all the transitional exercises. But just remember, if you're doing hula hoops, we definitely want to do both sides. So I'll give you the warning. We'll do this for 3, 2, 1. Let's close out the class in what I call our ceremonial way. Opening up our feet shoulder width apart. Bending our knees. Sticking our butt back. Now we want to lift our chest up so we feel that subtle little ache in the lower back. We want to experience that. Now, keeping our knees bent, we're going to squeeze our butt forward, suck our belly button in, and squeeze our butt some more. Beautiful. You might feel that little ache in the lower back, how it went away, it came back, it does some weird stuff. Release. We're going to do 2 more. So knees bent, butt back, chest up. Feel that ache in the lower back. Keeping the knees bent, squeeze your butt forward, suck your belly button in, and squeeze your butt some more. Beautiful. Release. And on this last one, I know, Rachel, you've never done this, so just hang out until I give you the next instruction. So knees bent, butt back, chest up. Oh, you're just when we're going to hold it a little bit longer than before. So knees bent, butt back, chest up. Now bend our knees and squeeze our butt forward. Suck our belly button and squeeze our butt. And now the weird part is we walk around with it. So I call this, I know I love watching us all uncomfortably and awkwardly do this. I call this the duck walk. I feel like we end up feeling like a duck. Some people have called it the poo-poo walk. But awesome stuff. Being that this is your first class, Rachel, I want to see how you feel. I just need you to accept the unmute.
I feel good.
Was this what you expected?
Kind of.
Okay, that's good. Like whenever someone says yes, it was exactly like what I expected. I kind of don't believe them, but I like that one. That's a good one. It's like
yeah,
cool.
I definitely feel it in my lower back, and that's good.
Yeah, because we did a lot of stretching of our hamstrings. So and our hamstrings are probably, it's hard to tell whether they're the number 1 or number 2 muscle that affects our lower back. So yeah, we did a lot of stuff for our legs and our lower back, and then our shoulders, you might feel a little bit sore the way we activated some of our rotator cuff muscles. But yeah, right. I'm glad you came and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, it's exactly what I needed.
Beautiful. Have an awesome day. Thank you for joining. How are you feeling, Michelle?
Feeling great. I needed that. I've been laying around all morning, so chilling, so that felt really good to get my snap, crackle, and pop on.
All right. I'm glad you enjoyed your Rice Krispies. Beautiful. How about you, Bill? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Woo! Can I hear a whoop out of you? Woo!
No, I don't make noises.
I know. I'm trying to chat. This is all about being uncomfortable. But Bill, just to let you know, are you? Oh, so I'm teaching my first ever beginner yoga class tomorrow at 9:30. So I'm a little bit nervous. So, but you'll enjoy it, and I know I'll hear honest feedback from you. So
just relax.
I am. Oh, I'm gonna relax. But
okay,
thank you.
So don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm not stressing it too much. How are you? Thank you for it. Thank you, though. How are you doing, Audrey?
Audrey, first of all, for your class tomorrow morning at 9:30, I should be there, and you need to breathe. Okay. But yes, I feel, well, I shouldn't say I feel great. My left shoulder is feeling it. I feel very sore, and I definitely worked on the hamstrings. Woo, because they're always tight. But this shoulder, I need a massage, Matthew. You got to help me out here. Okay. I need your expertise.
Well, for anyone that doesn't know, I think, Rachel, you're the only one that doesn't know. I've been a massage therapist for 13 years. So, yeah.
And he is the best. Not for anything, but he is the best. If he doesn't hurt you. Well. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Have a
and for anyone that doesn't know, Monday at 3:33 p.m., Mindful Monday, we have our Sleep Better experiment that I'm excited because I've been wanting Julianne to do a 9:30 p.m. meditation for sleep for forever, but that also combines essential oils and meditation to find your perfect sleep hygiene routine to foster better sleep for the rest of your life. And by sleeping better, you then increase human growth hormone, and then you don't age as poorly. So that's to be scientific, why you should do the Sleep Better experiment.
When is that?
That is September 26th at 1 p.m. We will have the first introductory call via Zoom. And then Monday, the 27th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 9:30 p.m., you get to have a sleep meditation. And then there's also going to be a couple things for you to use later on, even beyond the 3 days. Apparently I was supposed to.
I told Matthew to invite you yesterday.
Apparently, I was supposed to invite you yesterday, but I didn't get that memo.
You're talking to me?
Yeah. And Michelle, you were asking how to sign up?
How do you book it? Like, do you have to book every single day, or you
No,
book
you just do it once through MindBody.
so book
and we can
the
put
one
you
that
in.
says 1 o'clock on Saturday the 26th?
Yep.
Okay, and then those other days, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever, you don't have to book those also?
Nope. We'll put you in. We'll make sure you get all that Zoom. We'll make sure you're all Zoomed up. There is an additional charge for this, and we originally quoted it as $30 for members, but in reality, it's actually $28.
It's actually how much?
28 instead of 30.
28, okay.
Yes.
Gotcha, okay.
But if
Thank
you
you, Matthew.
Thank
have
you.
a balanced day, everybody. See y'all
You too.
soon.
Love you later. Goodbye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye, guys.